Over here, the gentleman over here tonight.
Graham Giles from Wagga in New South Wales, following on the last speaker's comments to some extent and Tony's comments. If we're going to be in this food security business and the unapologetic pursuit of excellence, then we're certainly going to need water, and we're certainly going to need, more importantly, agricultural scientists. Yet Professor Jim Prattley of Charles Sturt University, who's preparing a report for the New South Wales Government in June this year on the lack of agricultural science available, tells us that for every 7 jobs that are available in agricultural science, there's only 1 graduate. My question is this: we lost the pioneering spirit in Australia. We certainly need more agricultural scientists, and we certainly need more water, and we haven't built a project of the Snowy River scheme in 60 years.
Yes, sir.
Is that working? Yep. My name is Graham Swain. I'm an agricultural scientist, and I also was the CEO of Hawkesbury Agricultural College, which became University of Western Sydney Hawkesbury in my time. My question follows on from the gentleman from Wagga. There is an extremely serious problem facing us in agriculture in the Western world, not just in Australia, in the serious decline in the number of students studying agriculture, horticulture, food science. As an example, Hawkesbury, for last year, for the first year since 1891, didn't enrol any students in agriculture, horticulture or food science. In my time, we were enrolling 100 agriculture students, 75 horticulture, 75 food science. World population is sitting at about 6.5 billion. It's going to rise predictably to 9 billion, and somebody's got to feed those people. And if we think we've got wars now, if they're not being fed, we'll have a lot more wars than we've got now. Tony, I just wonder whether you might comment briefly on how do we turn this round? How do we change the attitude of young school leavers particularly, who used to do agriculture, and many of them don't do it now?
We've got a pretty serious situation which is very hard to turn around, because so many of the young ones don't want to stay on the land because there's only one person, probably a bloke or a girl working with the dad or mum or something, and it's pretty lonely, and there's not a lot of enterprise on the farm. It gets a bit boring, and they can make more money in the city, so off they go. But the young ones who are staying on the land are quite extraordinary people, and they're going to create the new ventures. Let me just go to the education, what our experience has been, because we do courses through our institute in all sorts of ways to farm. And we're very close, even though we're organic ourselves and biodynamic, in fact, we still have a great respect for conventional farming, because of the way the conventional farmers know how to measure things, they know how to get things done, they know about machinery, they know about animals. The only thing that they are longing to learn more about and be able to do is to get rid of the use of the chemicals and the artificial fertilisers, but they want to do it, and there are amazing farmers out there, the young ones. But in the education system, what we found is that, with the greatest respect, it wouldn't have happened in your day, but with the greatest respect, the institutions have fallen behind. And it's very hard for the larger institutions to change because of the structure that they have. For example, that medical course we set up, if it was set up by, say, Sydney University, it would never happen because 30 people on a committee would be reviewing it and so on, and we don't know anything about that nutrition stuff, especially when it's going to be taught out on sending doctors out onto a farm, so it wouldn't happen. But we can turn on a course very quickly because we can say, let's do it, let's get the appropriate people together who can put it together and make it happen. Now, that's what's happening in a lot of agricultural education today. The farmers and others are going and doing short courses, and on the focus groups we did with conventional farmers, they said they wanted to learn more about how their soil works so they could keep their agronomist honest. They didn't want to be told what to do by an agronomist who was working for a company. Secondly, they wanted to know more how they could get their crops and their grazing to get more out of it together, working together. And thirdly, they wanted their courses to be no more than one day if possible, and on a weekday, because they needed to have the weekends with their kids. So those people, a lot of them aren't going to go to the university courses anymore. And so much of the teaching of the course is now so many years behind. And so I think the institutions have a real challenge to pick up their game, because the farmers don't want that, but they are longing to get more and more knowledge. They get it from each other through their own groups that they measure with each other, and they go out to the short courses where they can learn something very quickly.
Thank you.
What about the powerful vision that Tony Coote, as founder of the Malone Institute, is working towards? A sustainable and profitable farming model, turning climate change into an opportunity rather than a threat. Tony rightly observed, it's not what you say in life, it's what you do that matters. He's a living example of that admonition.